Today on r/entitled people, campsite thieves, a grocery control freak, and an airplane scam that backfired in the funniest way. Let's get into it.
Someone tried to steal our campsite. We've got a good group of friends and we camp together every year for Labor Day. 7 adults, 4 kids, 3 cars. We pay extra for the third car and are under the per-person maximum per site. Reservations open 11 months in advance. We book the same large site every year 11 months in advance. This is, hands down, the best site in the campground. Pull through for the camper, off by itself, huge space, set off from the road, facing the woods. A+++ site. Some of the sites are much smaller. I was the first to arrive at the campground at about 9 p.m. Friday night. Every site is full except for one. And it isn't ours. It's the next site over, and it's a site that clearly can't fit a 32-foot trailer. We're kind of in Methloma out here, and this trailer was probably made in the 80s, so I'm pretty nervous when I go up to knock on the door. I immediately drop into my best Oklahoma accent and go full Southern lady. I'm terribly sorry to bother y'all, but here's my reservation email, and I think y'all are in my site. Oh no, this is the site we booked. Well, ma'am, would y'all mind if I looked at your reservation email? If they double booked us, we'll figure it out. Oh, let us find the email. They close the door. I wait 10 minutes. They don't pop out. I go ahead and call the ranger. They'll be here in 30 minutes. I wait 10 more minutes and knock on their door again. Were y'all able to find that email? Well, do we go to their website? No, it should be in your email. Well, what do you want us to do? We have kids asleep in here. Ma'am, I have kids asleep in the car, so I get it. We won't fit into that other site. If we can't get into this one, we won't have a space to sleep tonight. They still can't find the email. My friend finally pulls up with their trailer and the ranger came right after. Magically, they somehow find the email. They're supposed to be in the tiny site. They are now appealing to the ranger. Oh, we're supposed to leave tomorrow morning. Can't we just stay here? It's so much work to back in a trailer for just one night. Okay, we can compromise. Okay, we'll find somewhere else tonight if you can be out by 7 a.m. tomorrow so that we can get in. How about 11? That's checkout time. Nope, this is our site. We'll be nice, but we've got a full day tomorrow and we need to be set up by 8 a.m. That's so early. We have kids, but I guess we can be out by then. The ranger sees right through the potential drama that would happen at 7 a.m. the next morning and says, Nah, you need to go ahead and move tonight. But we have sleeping kids. The ranger points to me. So does she. You need to move. Much cussing and grumbling, but they finally move their RV. Takes them a solid 45 minutes to get it slotted into that microscopic site. And here we are Sunday afternoon, and their loud kids and their off-leash rat dogs are still in the site next door. The sites are fairly spaced, so at least it's muted by the trees. Yesterday morning, one of the kids screams, "Why are we in the nice site anymore?" The mom, maybe grandma, I honestly was reading a book and not looking, then screams back, "Well, those people over there took our site." Shoulda booked earlier, my friends. Normally we cook more food than we can eat and share with our neighbors. Nope, no steak for you. Update, Monday afternoon. Checkout time was 11. When we left, our friends were still there with no signs of packing up. So, to no one's surprise, the "we're leaving tomorrow" line was total nonsense. There were 3 adults in the site that we saw. 1 man, 1 older woman, and another woman who was maybe mid-40s, plus a handful of small children. The older lady was by far the more argumentative of them all, but the whole interaction never escalated beyond passive-aggressive comments. The younger of the 2 women was quieter. Shock of all shocks, the younger of the 2 women came up to us yesterday evening and apologized for the other woman's behavior. We told her it was a bad idea, but she wouldn't listen. She wanted the bigger site. She always tries to pull crap like this. She was extremely apologetic. So all's well that ends well. We lost an hour or so at the beginning of our trip, but had an amazing weekend with friends. We got a story out of it, and the neighbors didn't try to slash our tires.
a successful weekend. Happy camping to y'all.
Honestly, I love how the ranger just cut through the nonsense. No pity party, no stalling, just move it, lady. That's chef's kiss authority right there. And yelling across a campground blaming you for stealing their site? Please, that's not how reservations work. This isn't a first come, first scream system. I will say props to the younger woman for apologizing. At least someone in that family had a brain cell left to rub together. But still, what a weekend, dealing with campsite Karens before you even get the fire started. I'd be serving my s'mores with a side of pettiness. And if you thought campsite entitlement was bad, wait until you hear about a roommate who thinks he gets to control how you buy your groceries. Yep, that's next.
Apparently, I'm wrong for the way I buy my groceries. I, 29 female, moved into a new apartment about a year ago, and I have a roommate, around 55 male, who's been a major thorn in my side since moving in. I really don't know what his problem is. Some people suspect he acts like this because he likes me romantically. Ew. Total ew. I don't have a problem with age gaps in relationships usually, but a 20-plus year age gap? That's a bit too much for me. I, however, think it's because he's a control freak. I've got many examples of how he's a mean control freak, whom I'm going to call CF for control freak. If y'all are interested in more stories, I'll tell you. But for now, I'm going to start off with a smaller instance just to give you a taste of things to come. This was shortly after I had moved in. I did my grocery shopping at Albertsons. That store was the closest to my apartment, and I honestly loved shopping there, and still do. You can get hecka good deals on stuff. One day, after coming home with a few armloads of grocery bags, CF noticed and asked me how I got them. I said I bought them at Albertsons. He got all huffy and said I should get my groceries from this delivery service he uses instead. I honestly don't know why he cared so much to this day. He worded things like it was a suggestion. I told him I'd keep it in mind and went about my day. I'm the type of person who likes to go to stores, actually walking around, selecting my own items, and getting a chance to save money. I find grocery stores to be more convenient. Well, a week later, I went shopping and arrived home with a few armloads of groceries. Once more, CF was there and asked me how I got them, and I told him I went to the store. CF was silent for a moment before he demanded I give him my phone and debit card. He said he was going to sign me up for the delivery service he uses, whether I liked it or not. He only left me alone after I told him my card wouldn't have enough money on it at the delivery service at that moment. He rolled his eyes, and before he went back to his room, he said, "You'd have enough money if you didn't spend all your money at Albertsons." I just put away my groceries in silence and then went to my room and played Mortal Kombat 11 for a few hours. I still can't figure out why he even cared so much to this day.
This guy really said, "Hand me your phone and debit card. I'll sign you up whether you like it or not." Sorry, control freak, but grocery shopping isn't a hostage situation. And the Albertsons shade? Uncalled for. If someone enjoys walking through the store, grabbing deals, and picking out their own food, let them live. That's called being normal. I mean, I enjoy walking through the store too. It feels like a little vacation for me. And honestly, it's way cheaper than paying for some delivery service. Honestly, I'd rather tag him in Mortal Kombat than let him tag along on a grocery trip. And to the viewer who sent this in, you know who you are. Your roommate drama was the perfect blend of petty and ridiculous. Keep 'em coming. I love reading your chaos. Next up, an airplane, an entitled dad, and a business class scam gone wrong.
Airplane story. Family tries to trick me into switching to the middle. I just gotta say, even I can't believe that this actually happened to me. It's so ridiculous. A couple of years ago, I was on a fully booked international flight. The The flight was going to be 8 hours, and it was one of those big planes with 3 rows, 3 seats on each side and 4 in the middle. I was in economy, sitting alone in the aisle seat of one of the side rows. A couple with their already unhappy toddler walks up, and the wife and kid sit down in the middle row beside me. The dad looks around, talked to his partner, and asked me if I could switch seats with him so he could sit with his family. I was reluctant, but asked him what seat he had. To my surprise, he said he had a seat in business class, so of course I said, absolutely. I started to get up and grab my luggage, but once I stood up, he was like, wait, my wife actually wanted to go sit up there. Can you take her seat instead? I said, no, I'm not switching to the middle row and being blocked into a middle seat by a screaming toddler. And you said you wanted to sit with your family. The dad got all defensive and switched up, holding up traffic during this entire interaction, by the way, raising his voice, going on about how I said I could switch seats with them, and how it's not fair to his wife who had planned on taking his seat up in business class. Not my proudest moment, but I was starting to sass back at him. I'm pretty sure I asked him something along the lines of if he had any extra of whatever meds he was on, because it had to have been some top-notch stuff for him to be acting so crazy in public. At this point, a flight attendant finally squeezed her way up to us and asked why we weren't taking our seats. Before I could say anything, this man had the audacity to say that I had offered to take his wife's seat and now I wasn't cooperating. I called nonsense, and thankfully the passenger sitting behind me backed me up. The flight attendant was not in the mood to play. She asked to see his ticket, told me to grab my luggage, and escorted me up to his seat. Needless to say, I had a very nice flight after that.
This dad really thought he was outsmarting everyone. Like, I'll trick this stranger into giving up her aisle seat. My wife gets business class, and I still look like a hero. Sir. That's not galaxy brain, that's toddler brain. And the best part? He didn't just fail, he lost the very seat he was trying to protect. Imagine sitting there in economy, stewing next to a screaming toddler while the person you tried to scam is sipping orange juice in your business class chair. That's not a win. That's poetic justice. What about you? Would you have called his bluff or played along just to see how far he'd dig himself in? Let me know in the comments. And that wraps up today's dose of Our Entitled People. Whew. Some folks really think the world owes them everything, huh? If you enjoyed the madness, give this video a big thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you would have done. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and get ready for more outrageously entitled stories. See you in the next one. Bring popcorn.